Hello, welcome to Lemon Live at 5. We're so glad that you could be here. And so glad that you could be here. Thank you so much. So, hey, we are live and it is 5:06, which is really kind of early for me, right? It is. Is that on time or early for me? So I don't know. You guys tell me what's going on here. You tell me if you think it's early or what it is. But anyway, welcome to Lemon Live at 5. Let me know where you are streaming from. Let me know what is going on in your world right now. And we're streaming on a bunch of different platforms today. Okay. So if you're watching us on Substack, welcome. If you're watching us on TikTok, welcome. If you're watching us on Facebook, welcome. And if you're watching us on YouTube, welcome as well. This is Lemon Live at 5, and we're glad that you are here, as I have been saying, and we've got a lot to cover. Okay, I need to talk about a couple things. What on earth is happening with Elon Musk and Donald Trump? Because now it seems that at least someone is coming back. You know, and someone, you break up with someone and then all of a sudden they're like, you know, baby, I love you. Take me back. Take me back. I love you. I don't want you to break up with me. I'm sorry. I said I did wrong. Is it that, or is it more of what we said on our thumbnail, which is, I'm sorry, daddy. And by the way, if you're watching us, make sure you smash the screen, hit the hearts, hit the likes and the thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe and become a member. It is very important for us independent journalists to stay out here on these independent streets. So thank you so much again for joining us. Thumbs up, hit the hearts, smash the screen, and become a member. Let me just tell you real quick before I get into the stories, okay? Just so you should know, if you are a member of the Lemon Nation, if you are a Lemon Head, if you are a Lemon Legend, let me just tell you, and I kid you not, okay? Before I get into this, I was at the YouTube conference today. I started the YouTube conference with their news working group as an example of how you build a channel on YouTube and on streaming and on social media. They wanted to know how we built our community, our subscribers, our family, and I got bombarded with so many people asking me so many questions. How did you do this? How did you do this? How are you on all platforms? What about Substack? I love you on Substack. I subscribe to you on Substack. I love that what you write. We promote our Substack, all of our channels on every single one of our platforms. We love all of our platforms equally, okay? And so that's why we stream all of them on, as you are watching now. So today I was bombarded. I saw Ari Melber there from MSNBC. Johnny Harris was there. You guys know, if you are a YouTuber, you know Johnny Harris. And I saw Tara Palmieri there, and a bunch of other folks. Some folks from the Washington Post. All of them are going to do what we are doing right now because the media landscape is changing. So they were fascinated by Lemon Legends, Lemon Heads, Lemon Nation, Lemon Legends. Like, they were just like, wow, it is fantastic what you've done. How did you do it? I said, I don't know. I just did it. I created a community. It wasn't just, we're not creating just people watching me just talking to you. This is just the Don Lemon channel. As I've been telling you, this is your community as well. So Lemon Nation strong. Woo, woo, woo. So subscribe to our Substack, subscribe to our YouTube, subscribe to our TikTok, subscribe to our Instagram, subscribe to our Facebook, and we give you different things on different platforms, okay? So, and if you are a member, depending on the tier of your membership, you will get certain things. They were fascinated by and YouTube, they were fascinated by more than anything, by our private streams that we do, where we talk about the dogs, where we cook breakfast, or we'll cook dinner, or we'll have a couple sips. They were fascinated by that because they're like, you guys are like a family. They were talking about before you go live, I saw your show. You were streaming from here today. I saw your show, and all the people in the chats, and the head of this entire thing said what someone just said here. It said, Don, do you live? You did live in your pajamas? Yes. He said because you're so just sort of natural and authentic, and that is where it's going. People don't want that, especially when it comes to news. Now, look, people love. Don't get me wrong. People like nicely produced content, but you don't have to be sitting in a glossy studio with a bunch of makeup on. So let me just tell you from the bottom of my heart. You guys know, remember when we hit 500,000 or 600,000 and I just boo-hooed or whatever? I'm not going to do that. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you. But I will tell you that we do need your support. We're independent journalists. We don't have the giant budgets for advertising or the company giving us money or any of that. It's all us. Okay? So thank you for all of that. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for watching every single day. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up in the hearts. We really do appreciate your support. Now, let's talk. Let's talk, people, because I want to know, and follow us. Yes, I want to know how you feel about you make up and you break up. They've been making up and breaking up and making up and breaking up. What on earth is going on? So in the middle of the night, well, first, I think we should give the reporting. Let's give the Wall Street Journal reporting, and then we're going to talk about this, okay? We're going to talk about this. So here's the Wall Street Journal report. Musk retreats on Trump attacks after calls with President J.D. Vance. Now, here's the interesting part. This is the Wall Street Journal. And as I always ask you guys when we do this, I say to you, now, who owns the Wall Street Journal? Can anybody tell me in the chat? Who owns the Wall Street Journal? The Wall Street Journal is owned. I'm waiting for someone to tell me. Let's see who gets it. Is it going to be TikTok? Is it going to be YouTube? Is it going to be Substack? Who? Thank you very much, Mary. Rupert Murdoch. Nope, not Jeff Bezos. It's Murdoch. Thank you, Mandy Blue. Over. It's not Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. I mean the Washington Post. Rupert Murdoch owns the Wall Street Journal, and they have been doing some really investigative stuff on Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and they're not going easy on him, which is interesting because the folks over, at the Fox News, they are just glazers. All they do is glaze Donald Trump up and down every single moment that they can. It's all they do. Glaze, glaze, glaze. And I'm going to show you one. You're going to see it. It's the folks over on the Fox News. I'm looking over here because I'm trying to fix my monitor so I can see. I like to see what I'm doing in real time. So I watch you, but then I also watch the feed here so that I can see the ads that run and all that. I like to know. I want to know what's going on our channel. We want to make sure our channel is healthy and that they're treating us right. Okay, so here we go. So Elon Musk publicly walked back some attacks on President Trump after phone calls. J.D. Vance and Susie Wiles urged Musk to repair his relationship with Trump after a public falling out. Tensions escalated when Musk alleged Trump's name appeared in Epstein's files. Trump suggested terminating Musk's contract. This is some really gossipy, juicy shit. Really? This reads like a soap opera. If I would think that I'm watching Dynasty. Somebody asked me last night when I was at a dinner party or something, they said, what would you have said to this statement? And I said to them, I would have said, the champagne is burned. It's obvious that this champagne has been frozen in the bottle at some point. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I wouldn't know. This is Asatrova, and I prefer Petrosian Beluga. Now, you guys know what I'm talking about. That is the kind of shade that I like to give people. Classy shade, right? You don't have to curse anybody out. You don't have to be yelling at people like Pete Hegseth was doing, getting all animated and besides himself in the congressional hearings. And there were more congressional hearings today. I was just sick of it. It's him and his like, that is absolutely wrong attitude. Sick of it. You don't have to do all that, okay? You can just, I miss the days of the Dominique Devereaux, Alexis Carrington Colby, shady, shade. That's what I'm talking about. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, this champagne is burned. And the champagne at the White House is burned, okay? And perhaps at the, who knows, over at the SpaceX. I have no idea. So I'm going to read a little bit, and I'm going to show you the response from Elon Musk, and then from the Trump administration. Elon Musk publicly retreated on some of his attacks on President Trump after a pair of phone calls between the camps, including one with the president. That's according to people familiar with the matter. First, Vice President J.D. Vance, I should say, and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles pushed Musk to repair his relationship with Trump after the tech billionaire blew up at the president in a dramatic and public falling out, according to people familiar with the call. In a call last Friday, the vice president and Wiles urged Musk to put an end to the public feud. Stop it, Elon. You're embarrassing us. Or the president. Scroll, please, Andy. Then on Monday, Trump and Musk spoke over the phone. Ooh, wow. This is, again, soap opera. I'm going to read it as just like if we were talking about it. If we're having like something, a little sip. I can't say, cocktails or whatever, because the AI might pick it up, and the AI on TikTok is very sensitive. So then on Monday, Trump and Musk spoke over the phone for the first time since that blow up. I'm hearing that from people who are familiar. That's what this reads like. And then Musk backed off. He de-escalated his war of words publicly early on Wednesday. So then he backed off on Wednesday and then tweeted out this. Now I'm going to read it from the paper, and then I'll show you the thing. I regret some of my posts about President at real Donald Trump, Musk wrote in a post on X. They went too far. Vance had kept his involvement in the fray low-key, siding with Trump by refraining from criticizing Musk. Okay, so they are friends, right? They go back to the tech billionaire days or to Silicon Valley with Peter Thiel. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother show, okay? Now, this says the White House and Musk didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters in a briefing Wednesday that the president acknowledged Musk's post and appreciated it. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about all of that. Now let's get to it. This is what Musk tweeted. He said, I regret some of my posts about the president at real Donald Trump last night. They went too far. Okay, 3 a.m. Now, you guys know, let's just be honest about this. You guys know at 3 a.m. when you break up with somebody and you're like, oh, I can't believe I did. Even if you decided to break up, you start having some regrets. It's the 3 a.m. thing. The 3 a.m. text. I'm sorry. Can we talk? You up? Blah, blah, blah. Right? Or either they put you on read, or the answer is stop texting me, it's so late, or move on. No, I don't want to talk. He couldn't sleep. Thank you, Nadine Rice. He could not sleep. I'm just saying, I regret some of my posts about President at real Donald Trump last night. They went too far. Now, let me just tell you who is really being a shady queen here, okay? Matt Gaetz. Because Matt Gaetz is thinking what you just said, that he could not sleep. This is what Matt Gaetz said. I never had a breakup where I didn't say at least one thing I later came to regret. It's human nature. A breakup. Now, at first you would think, well, he is supporting Musk. Maybe he is. I don't know. But a breakup? You just say an argument with a friend or a buddy. I never, hey, I've never had a breakup and a bromance. I don't know, but he's like saying, I never had a breakup. Now, how many times do you call a falling out with your friend or whatever a breakup? I don't know. Am I wrong? That's shady, Matt Gaetz. But Matt Gaetz would know. I'm just saying. Anyway, here's what the New York Post is saying. The New York Post is saying Musk treats Trump like a father. Okay? So Trump doesn't rule out reconciliation with Elon Musk as he sits down with Miranda Devine for Pod Force One. So she talks about this, but is this the right one? Is this Rod? Is this the right one that in the reporting? Do I have the right one up, Peter?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So scroll through this, Andy. The breaking up of the bromance. So President Trump said that he could patch things up with a former billionaire buddy, Elon Musk, but a potential reconciliation isn't a top priority. So speaking to Miranda Devine of the debut episode of Pod Force One, Trump said that he doesn't blame Musk for the blow up of their alliance, but he's a little disappointed. Look, I had no hard feelings. See, I have no hard feelings with her. So you can do what she wants. I'm just saying that's what a dude would say. Or she would say, I don't have any hard feelings with him. Let him do what he wants. He can go but find somebody else. I don't care. Said during a wide-ranging interview recorded on Monday, I was really surprised that happened. He went after a bill that's phenomenal. I think he feels very badly that he said that, actually. Okay, but I want to go up and let's go to the part where Elon Musk is, where he talks about, I want to see what Elon Musk had to say. Keep going. Because they're saying that Elon Musk, basically, I will tell you, said Elon Musk felt bad about it, what he had said, because he treats, oh my God. Okay, so listen, I'm not far off. Andy, back up and show that picture. This is how shady the New York Post is. I'm not far off. Look at that. They've got like a honeymoon heart, not a honeymoon, a Valentine's heart that says, I hate my ex. So the New York Post, by the way, one more quiz. Who owns the New York Post? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Who owns the New York Post? Bueller? It's not Bezos, thank you. It's Murdoch in TikTok. Rupert Murdoch owns the New York Post. And so again, you would think this would be a pro-Trump, pro-Elon paper. The big, beautiful breakup. Now let's scroll up because I'm going to show you this, why I'm showing this to you, because he said that he treated, anyway, it's in there, that he treats Donald Trump like a father. Perhaps he looks up to him as a father figure. So there you go. Now, let's get to the official response to all of this. Because this is what, let me make sure I'm getting the right thing, everything that I want to get out of here. So this is what, yes, I got Matt Gaetz, the 3 a.m. apology, the New York Post. Oh, I'll say that. This is what Caroline Levitt is saying about it when questioned here.
About Elon Musk, he issued an apology this morning. Has the president accepted the apology, or does he think it's too little too late?
The president acknowledged the statement that Elon put out this morning, and he is appreciative of it, and we are continuing to focus on the business of the American people.
And has the administration started a review of Musk's government contracts, something that the president said he's considering?
What do you mean by that?
Has the administration started a review of the contracts that Musk and his companies currently have?
No efforts have been made on that front as far as I'm aware.
Now, did she really answer the question? Can you just play that again? Because Andy, please, I hate to do this to you guys, but I want you to play that again because I want you, she said, have you started the review of contracts or whatever? And she goes, what do you mean? And the reporter basically says, have you restarted? She repeats the same question. Like, what is it not to understand, Caroline Levitt? What are you talking about? You know exactly what I'm saying. Just play it again, Andy.
About Elon Musk, he issued an apology this morning. Has the president accepted the apology, or does he think it's too little too late?
The president acknowledged the statement that Elon put out this morning, and he is appreciative of it, and we are continuing to focus on the business of the American people.
Okay, pause right there. Now, I'm glad, and I was doing something, I got a little distracted. He said apology. There was no apology in that. She said apology. There was no apology in that. That was just a statement of regret, sort of an explanation. I regret that I went too far, not that I'm sorry about what's happened or what I said. There is a difference, right? There's a difference. Did you think that was an apology? Or someone said a fake apology. It's not an apology. It is a statement of regret. And she knows it because she said, Caroline Levitt, when the reporter asked her about the apology, Caroline Levitt responded by saying, the statement. He appreciates the statement, not the apology. Keep going.
And has the administration started a review of Musk's government contracts, something that the president said he's considering?
What do you mean by that?
Has the administration started a review
What
of
do you mean by
the
that?
contracts that Musk and his companies currly have?
No efforts have been made on that front, as far as I'm aware.
That was the exact same. She said the same thing. So at least it gave her a second to think about exactly what she wanted to say. But it's the same darn thing. Now wait till you hear. There is a good explanation, I think, what's going on, and then I want you to hear what the folks over at the Fox News is saying, especially over at their morning show, because it is, instead of a morning, it's a shit show. That morning show is a shit show. That's perhaps what it should be called a shit show. And by the way, again, make sure you hit the like and the thumbs up. Like and subscribe, become a member, because it does affect the algorithm. If you hit the thumbs up, more people become aware of our conversation. So let me wait till you hear what Fox and Friends are saying. And you guys know Jennifer Welch, right? My friend over at the I've Had It podcast. She had some very choice words for the administration and what she thinks about what Donald Trump is doing, especially as it relates to California and sending in the National Guard and Marines. And she does not hold her tongue. You know, Jennifer does not hold back. And you're going to hear from the, anchors over at Fox and Friends, a shit show. So let's take a break from our sponsors. For our sponsors, a word from our sponsors. Support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from Beam, B-E-A-M. You guys want to know why I have all of this energy, right? Because I had trouble sleeping. And I don't want to take, something that is prescribed. I don't want to take things that are prescribed, okay? Where you have to get a prescription for it. Don't want to do that, okay? So, and there's a lot going on in the news for you to be rambling, your mind to be rambling, and then you wake up in the middle of the night and you check your phone and you do all of those things. You don't need to do that. That is the relentless news cycle, and everything that's happening sort of relates to what I'm going to tell you about later. That is the right. They are doing that. They're trying to scare you. They want to take you out of the they want to take you away from what is happening so that you get burned out, that you tune out to what's happening, and they want you to roll over. That is why I turned to Beam's Dream Powder, a natural sleep blend designed to help you get the sleep, the deep restorative rest that your body and mind need to stay in the fight. Science-backed ingredients, reishi, magnesium L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. Dream helps you to fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up ready to organize, resist, and raise hell without the fog and without the crash. So since I started using Dream, my focus has come back, my energy is returned, and I'm ready to face the day, ready to stand up for the things that matter, like I am talking to you about right now. Okay? I'm not the only one. The Beam's Dream Powder has helped to improve 17.5 at least million nights of sleep for people all across the country. So right now, Beam is offering up to 40% off of their best-selling Dream Powder for my listeners, my viewers, my members, my subscribers. It is a limited time offer and the perfect way to overcome that exhaustion and stay in the fight every single day. So go to shopbeam.com and use the code LEMON at checkout. That is shopbeam.com/lemon and use the code LEMON for up to 40% off. Sleep well, wake up ready. The fight continues. We're fancy, y'all, because we have multiple sponsors of this very successful program. It's also a sponsor today. We're happy to have the support of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. The Don Lemon Show is brought to you today from the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Listen, there are people out there, and if you notice what's going on, you see it now. They are trying to turn our country into a theocracy. It is not a theocracy. Someone might say an autocracy as well. A theocracy. We're supposed to have a separation of church and state. We are a country that's built on a democracy. We are a democratic republic. We are not a country that was built on what? On Christianity. It's not a Christian nation. This is a nation that believes in freedom of religion and freedom of speech and the separation of church and state. So that is where the Freedom from Religion Foundation comes in, okay? They have been defending church-state separation since 1978 in the courts, in schools, and wherever religion tries to take the wheel. If you believe that government should serve everyone, not just the religious right, then join them. Go to ffrf.us/freedom or text my name, Don, to 511-511 and become a member today. So join us. Stand by, having a little camera problem here. So anyway, so I'll fix that. So join us and go to ffrf.us/freedom or text Don to 511-511 now, because the only story that should matter is ours, not theirs. Text fees may apply. Okay, let's hear from our friend over at I've Had It podcast, Jennifer Welch.
The ketamine must have been hitting a little soft spot at 3 a.m. in the morning, because Trump's ex-boyfriend posted this tweet on X. I regret some of my posts about President at Real Donald Trump last week. They went too far. And so, I mean, I personally think that the whole thing that's going on in LA was to wag the dog again, away from all of this stuff, because as we have talked about from before the election to now, Elon Musk and Donald Trump have done bad stuff together, and there is a mutually assured destruction. Trump flexing his arm with the military and going full authoritarian, and Elon sitting on the sidelines now and not sleeping at the White House with his ex-boyfriend, I'm sure is somewhat terrifying for him, especially if you're on drugs all the time. You're paranoid, delusional. And so I think this is a real interesting development in this, that the alpha male, big tough guy, now he's backing down.
I'm wondering if this is a temporary ceasefire between the two. I completely agree with you that there's mutually assured destruction between these two. But is it going to ramp back up? Because we know Trump said, I'm not interested in rekindling this relationship, but Trump loves nothing more for someone to come crawling back. So is Elon Musk going to crawl back, or are we going to go back to jabs against each other?
I mean, Pumps, you and I both know that somebody on drugs is going to be incapable of sustaining a cohesive thought, a cohesive mindset. And for sure, he's going to get wound up down a K-hole, and he is going to spill more. It's just inevitable. It's just a matter of when. But it will happen. And if he doesn't do it personally, he will have his little minions, his technological minions, leak this, and somehow, it be untraceable to whatever Twitter account it is, because there's just no way that these two really sick narcissists are going to be able to have a ceasefire. Another thing I just think is really important to point out, you've got Donald Trump, who has been widely reported wears a diaper, and he has bowel incontinence,
pause,
basically.
please. This is where Jennifer gets shady. Sorry, I hit a little camera issue here. This is where Jennifer, it's not even shady. Jennifer and Pumps will say things that many people are afraid to say. And when maybe we'll put it up on our channel because I hosted an event with them at the 92nd Street Y here in New York City. And the reason people love them is for their authenticity. And I told them, I said, look, I'm going to get a bit nervous for you guys because, the Trump administration is very litigious. And then what I forgot, and Pumps reminded me very quickly, is that, Don, I'm an attorney. And I said, well, show you right. So she's not worried about this because she knows how far they can go. And when she's like, hey, I'm an attorney. I know how these things work. So, that's how they feel. That's what she says she knows. Now, back it up a little bit. And I want you to hear about this, because what she's saying, it has been reported or alleged about Donald Trump. And they reported this as well about Elon Musk. Watch.
No way that these two really sick narcissists are going to be able to have a ceasefire. Another thing I just think is really important to point out, you've got Donald Trump, who has been widely reported wears a diaper, and he has bowel incontinence. Basically, that means shit his pants. Recently, there have been allegations on the internet that he is wearing a catheter. Okay, so he pisses his pants and he shits his pants. This is the president of the United States and the party that goes on and on about Biden being too old. And then you have Elon Musk, and it's been widely reported that he pees his pants all the time because of massive ketamine abuse, which one of the side effects of that is it just rips your bladder up.
So what do you think? Basically, what she's saying is that this is according to her, and this is what I'm getting, is that they are two damaged individuals. And then she's pointing out how they are just so similar They are two sides. Is that the right when you say they're two sides of the same coin? Two sides of the same coin. And Jennifer points it out. She does. If you look, go and check out the I've Had It podcast with those two ladies. It is amazing. Now for the, I don't know what you call it, the coup d'etat, for the prize, the folks over at the Fox and Friends, because they can, I mean, their lips are orange. Their whole face is just orange from just kissing. They're so far up there, the mwah of the Donald Trump. Fox and Friends, watch.
Overnight, Elon Musk backtracking. It's called the Big Beautiful Backtrack. He tweeted this out. He said, I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far. He didn't say which one specifically that he regretted. We have some ideas. You want to read through them, Brian?
It says, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Not a good thing to say. Dems would control the House and Republicans would be down 51-49 in the Senate. Really not accurate, but you did put a lot of time in Pennsylvania, Elon. We know that.
He said this as well. In light of the president's statements about the cancellation of my government contract, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately.
And that's been deleted. He also said, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT.
Now, these are our opinion of what he might want to walk back. We don't know what he wants to walk back.
That one was deleted, too. So, yeah, he also said that Donald Trump should be impeached.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows the president, he loves spirited debate. Even if you disagree with him, you can yell, you can scream, you can make your points be heard. But when he took it public and he started saying some of the talking points from the left where it was impeachment, Epstein files and all that, he lost a little credibility there, a lot of credibility. Now, I think they will make up, but they're never going to be as close as they were before because the president simply can't trust the guy now.
Donald Trump said that he thinks that he imagines that Elon Musk would want to talk to him. Listen.
On Elon Musk, do you plan to speak to him on the phone anytime soon?
I haven't really thought about it, actually. I would imagine he wants to speak to me. I would think that. If I were him, I'd want to speak to me, and maybe he's already called. You'd have to ask him whether or not he's already called. But I'd have no problem with it.
I'll tell you he did.
Right. What does that mean? Ask if he called?
I think he said, hey, he called me, but I'm not going to put it out there. But you ask him.
I don't know for sure, but I would say out of everything that he posted, you know what bothers him most? The attacks on the big, beautiful bill. Because it temporarily, it halted the momentum they had in the Senate. So now he's got, this is my landmark piece of legislation. You better not hurt it. Remember, he blew up the debt ceiling deal that was done so they could move forward. And it delayed everything for 2 weeks. Every day matters. They got 3 weeks to get it done. And I think that if they could Elon could just stay out of the way and let the politics happen and the bill be defined, the president would be more than willing to talk after July 4th.
Okay, so here's the thing. Even Fox and Friends, they're having fun with this. Now, let me just say this to you guys. They can't help but deal with it. Now, there is someone I agree with in the chat. Someone that said, Don, this is not even news. This is garbage. It is true. It's not partially true. Okay. And I agree with you. So, and you can come to my channel. You can get in the chat if you disagree with me. Absolutely 100%. Of course you can. We like that. We like dissent as long as it's respectful. So here's the thing. Perhaps it should not even be news. Can you imagine we are in a place right now where we're talking about two people who are fighting over social media, who the people are comparing it to a love affair, calling them boyfriends. They are acting as if they were in a relationship. They are doing it publicly. This is the most ghetto presidency ever. You know, the black man who was president never acted like this. Straight-laced, smart, nice, quite intelligent, brilliant, good-looking, great family, one baby mama who has been married to one wife. This is the most ghetto presidency ever. It's worse than a soap opera. Exactly, it's ghetto. And that, no, I don't mean black. I mean ghetto. You can be white and be ghetto too. Ghetto. It is unbelievable that this is even news. So thank you for saying that we have to sit here and report this. But you need to know this, because I don't want you to get all caught up in the craziness and the madness, and you just see how dumb they are, how unqualified they are, how they keep talking about America should be based on merit and DEI. In their definition of DEI, they are DEI hires. In their definition, they got the job because they're unqualified, and America, many people in America wanted a white president. They're like, we need a white president. Let's pick the ghetto guy with all the baby's mamas who cheats on her and pays off porn stars. Let's pick that guy. Let's pick the criminal, convicted. I'm just saying. And they're concerned about the black president. They're concerned about a woman being president. Look how emotional these guys are. You're in the Epstein files. You wouldn't have won without me. I'm going to take away your contracts. All in public. How is that not emotional? Ghetto and emotional. You know I'm telling the truth, don't you? You know I am telling the truth. Now, look, I want to move on, and I want to talk about this. We'll get back to these guys. We'll see if they actually kiss and make up or whatever, a saying, but who knows? That is a saying. That is a figure of speech. People say, oh, they kissed and made up, whatever. So I want to get to what is happening around the country and tell you some of the things that I'm hearing. Now, I don't know, Andy, do you have the thing where I reported about the costumes, right? You know the thing where I reported about the costumes. So
yeah, the Substack?
Yeah, the Substack. Do you have that?
I will in 1 second.
Okay, fine. Okay, so just fine. No rush. So we reported about this just to show you that this is all. You heard what Jennifer Welch said, that this was a wag the dog. I've been telling you this. I've been telling you what's happening in California, calling in the National Guard and calling in the Marines. That was all for show. This is the pre-show. This is the tease. This is the thing that you see on your television on Saturday. President Donald Trump, a strong man, will be celebrating America and the troops, and a very proud and strong America. Make sure you watch on Saturday at 6:00. And then they show you like clips from the thing. But since the thing has not happened, the clips from the thing is California. The teaser video, the promotion video is California, and people being brutalized and beaten up in the streets. The smoke bombs that's or grenades that's being thrown into the crowds by law enforcement. That is the teaser, right? That's what it is. And so he wants to build up what's going to happen in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. So this is and so it is all coordinated and choreographed. This is the reporting that we had on Substack. Okay, if you are one of our members on Substack and you follow us on Substack, this is a story that we reported, and it was an exclusive breaking. Right, according to sources familiar with the matter, the Trump administration has sought to acquire approximately 2,000 historical military costumes for Saturday's parade in Washington, D.C., commemorating the Army's 250th birthday. Multiple individuals allege the motion picture costuming company MPCC, a Hollywood-based firm known for supplying wardrobe to major film productions, has agreed to fulfill most of that order. Okay, that story we broke yesterday on our Substack page. And there's more information as it relates to that. Let me give you the new news as it relates to this, because I am hearing from sources. They're saying the contract was for $250,000 to $300,000. Again, according to sources, allegedly for $250,000 to $300,000. It is causing quite a stir in the local and Hollywood business industry. It seems low, really way too low. So according to the sources, the company that's supplying these uniforms, you can show them the uniforms, Andy. The company that's supplying these uniforms, like these, to be handed out. If you and let's read who's going to be wearing them. I want to read for the folks who's going to be wearing these uniforms. Okay. As first reported on the Don Lemon Show on YouTube, that was yesterday on the Live at 5, the costumes are said to represent the evolution of U.S. military fatigues from the Revolutionary War through modern-day combat gear. In addition, the administration is allegedly seeking actors to wear the uniforms, and also members of the military as well, allegedly seeking actors to wear the uniforms and members of the military and participate in the parade, further blurring the lines between commemoration and political spectacle. Costume designers are said to be currently in Washington, or costumers, I should say. Again, I need to correct that. Are currently in Washington, fitting some 1,500 parade marchers. MPCC declined to comment. They're also saying that this is a government contract. So this is all culminating, again, as I said, is a big tease, and it's a show that they are choreographing here. Also, did you guys, some very smart person this morning on our 10 a.m. show notice something about the crowd behind Donald Trump at the speech that he gave yesterday? It was Fort Bragg, right? That he gave the speech yesterday. They noticed something, and guess what? Smart. I saw it go by and I did not comment on it. I wanted to, and I did not. Okay. But I'm going to tell you what it is, how they are further choreographing it, and it's going to tick you off because it appears, I don't know if it's racist, biased, I don't know. But stand by, I'll tell you after this word from our sponsor. Support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from Shopify. The origins of this particular show that you are watching right now on all of these platforms was just a dream to me a little more than a year ago. But now that dream has turned into a reality, and you're listening and watching it today. Starting your own business is a dream lots of us share, but too many of us let it remain just a dream. Don't hold yourself back thinking, what if I don't have the skills? What if I can't do this alone? Turn those dreams into what ifs. Turn those what ifs, I should say, into why nots with Shopify on your side. I love the Shopify ding. Oh, we did it. 1, 2, 3. Andy, you're getting carried away with the ching. So Shopify can help you if you want to start a business. It has all kinds of tools. It can help you with an email strategy, a promotion strategy, a social media strategy. They have all kinds of templates. They can help you design a website, all of it. All right. 24/7 award-winning customer service. Okay. So turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial. Start selling today at shopify.com/lemon, shopify.com/lemon, shopify.com/lemon. Support for the Don Lemon Show today also comes from Lean. Yeah, we have sponsors here, ladies and gents. Support for the Don Lemon Show today also comes from Lean. And let me tell you why Lean. Everyone wants to know why I can fit in this shirt now, because I've been taking Lean. I couldn't fit in this shirt for the longest time, especially after the holidays, you know. So if you eat and if you lose weight and then you gain it back and then you gain more on top of that, and it's like this never-ending cycle, that when you do that, you're putting yourself at an increased risk of heart attack, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and other health problems. So breaking free from your yo-yo diet plan is a main reason that doctors created Lean. It's a supplement. It's not an injection, and you don't need to go to the doctor for it or to the pharmacist. This is all natural. Don't need a prescription. The science behind Lean is impressive. It is studied. Natural ingredients targets weight loss in 3 powerful ways. Lean helps to maintain a healthy blood sugar. It helps to control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting fat into energy. So listen, if you're tired of losing weight, gaining, and you need a meaningful way to lose weight and stay healthy, let me get you started with 20% off when you enter lemon20 at takelean.com. And use the code lemon20 at takelean.com and use the code lemon20. Thank you for our sponsors. We're very grateful to have you here. By the way, let me tell you, if you're a sponsor on this program, if you get to be, we're honored to have sponsors, but if you get to be a sponsor in this program, it is something that we have used, that I like and I believe in. It's never just going to be because we need sponsors. Okay. So there you go. Okay. So here's the thing. Now, you guys saw the president's speech. Okay. This is what I want you to, this is from military.com. This is a troop at Fort Bragg. What it says, Bragg soldiers who cheered Trump's political attacks while in uniform were checked for allegiance and appearance. Again, what did they do? They coordinated it as if it was a television show. And they picked the people who supported Donald Trump. And there were a few in there. Now, you know, our military is very diverse, right? Extremely. It's one of the most diverse institutions that we have in this country. And someone in the chat yesterday said, I see nary a black face in there. Now, you might see one or two, a couple. But they all look like young white men. Double Dutch 031. You saw that, right? Coordinated. Curated. Are you curating this? People asked me that when we went out on the campaign trail for the election. Are you curating? This is out of control. It is out of control. It's a sea of white faces. Now, again, you may see a couple, but remember how diverse our men and women in uniform are. And this is what they're reporting. Let's look at the reporting. Scroll down. I want to read some of it to you, and then I'm going to tell you about some other stuff that may outrage you. It was supposed to be a routine appearance, a visit for the commander-in-chief to rally the troops, boost morale, and celebrate the Army's 250th birthday week, which culminates with a Washington, D.C. parade slated for Saturday. Remember, this is the big buildup, right? For Saturday. Instead, what unfolded on Tuesday at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, bore little resemblance to the customary visit from a president and defense secretary. There, President Trump unleashed a speech laced with partisan invective, goading jeers, with a crowd of soldiers positioned behind his podium, blurring the long-standing and sacrosanct line between the military and partisan politics. Now, remember, this is military.com, which is usually the military very pro what? President, country, Republicans. Okay? Then it talks about how they roared in laughter as the president berated Joe Biden, Gavin Newsom. The soldiers roared with laughter and applauded Trump's diatribe in a shocking and rare public display of troops taking part in naked political partisanship. So for this story, military.com reached out to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's office, as well as the Army and the 82nd Airborne Division, directly with a series of questions that range from the optics of the event to social media posts showing the sale of Trump campaign merchandise on the base. Outrageous. If that does not tick you off, the sale of Trump merchandise on the base. Ghetto. To the apparent violation of Pentagon policies of political activity in uniform. Keep going. Remember that. You cannot have political activity while you are in uniform. Yes, you're right. This is deplorable. Here's the crux of it. Internal 82nd Airborne Division communications, reviewed by military.com, reveal a tightly orchestrated effort to curate the optics of Trump's recent visit, including hand-picking soldiers for the audience based on political leanings and physical appearance. One unit-level message bluntly saying, are you hearing this? No fat soldiers. This is according to military.com. And you are right, Art of Crash. Absolutely disgusting. If soldiers have political views that are in opposition to the current administration and they don't want to be in the audience, they then they need to speak with the leadership and get swapped out, another note to troops said. Service officials declined to comment when asked about the extent to which troops were screened, whether soldiers displaying partisan cheers on television, a violation of longstanding Pentagon rules, would be disciplined, or if soldiers who objected to participating in the event, citing disagreements with the administration, would be disciplined or admonished in any way. Unbelievable. This has been a bad week for the Army. For anyone who cares about us being a neutral institution, one commander at Fort Bragg told military.com on the condition of anonymity to avoid retaliation. This was shameful. I didn't expect anything to come out of it, but I hope maybe we can learn from it long term. Autocracy, fascism, dictatorship. Outrageous. How do you feel about that, America? How do you feel about that, MAGA? How do you feel about that? There's supposed to be, again, separation of church and state. Let's talk about the separation of a military where people are not supposed to show their political stripes. How do you feel about that, MAGA? Now, maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't care that the norms of this country have really been just blown out, gone. Maybe you don't care about those things. It's selfish. It's un-American. It's not patriotic. It's unpatriotic. And don't you care that this president is using men and women in uniform who sacrifice their, in many ways, many times, can sacrifice their lives for us, who put their lives on the line for us. He's using them as props. He uses people as props all the time. Remember, he used when he signed the executive order about trans or whatever, he had the kids, props. When he had his fake State of the Union, pointing out the little boy with a disability, props. He uses people as props for his own political expediency. Selfish, disgusting, un-American. Selfish, disgusting, un-American. And it's a big lead up to the big show that's going to happen on Saturday. Now, look, I have been asked by many people to go to Washington, D.C. to cover the protests. I don't know if there are going to be any protests. What I'm hearing is that the protesters are saying, we're not going to Washington, D.C. because we don't want to give him any shine. We don't want to give them any shine. We don't want the cameras. He's going to use us, and they're going to try to encourage violence and to ramp things up. And so they're saying, we don't even want to go there and show that because that's what he wants in the cameras there to do. So, but folks have been asking me to go to Washington, D.C. I might just go and to go there and cover the protests, not the march. You guys let me know. Should I do it? Should I not do it? You tell me. Should I do it or should I not do it? Guys, a very good friend of mine lost their dad, and I've got to go to sit Shiva with them. And then after that, I'm hosting the Native Son Awards this evening. So I've got to run. Usually I spend a little bit more time with you, but I just want to say, make sure you by popular demand, our merch store is up online. We dropped some new merch yesterday, so it should be at the top of the chat. But if you want to know where to go, here it is. We'll show you. This is our merch store. You can scroll through and look at some of the stuff. We got some new stuff there, selling greatly. I didn't want to do merch. You guys wanted it. You asked for it. You got it. Toyota, and it is. I'm pleasantly surprised about how it's selling. So if you go to our YouTube page and then go to our page, our show page, and then click on shop, and you can get there. And then we're working on the donlemon.com. There's a glitch. I don't know what's happening. We're working to fix it. All the web folks, the tech folks are working to fix it so that we can have our merch store and other things that relate to the Don Lemon Show up there. Okay. So welcome to all of our new members. Thank you. There were members as well who donated some memberships, and because of their generosity, I believe like 50, 60, 70 people get to become members of the Lemon Nation. So welcome to all of the new members. I appreciate you. IFW, TWFW. Karen White gifted 50 memberships because of Karen's generosity. 50 people get to become members of the Lemon Nation. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Lemon Nation Nova and all of our new members, okay? So I will see you back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time for Hot Topics, okay? In the meantime, as I always say, don't sit in front of the television and just outrage porn and get all pissed off. You can be informed without being inundated. So turn the TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.